Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Dan Montgomery, psychologist and marriage and family therapist here in Austin, Texas, in my home office. And it's a joy to give you a tour of what you're in store for if you enter therapy with me for individual or couples therapy. I've been doing therapy for 40 years. It's a passion of my life. I love positive outcomes. I love mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional health. I love to play a part in removing the disorders, the dysfunction, the anxiety, the depression, the trauma that can afflict us as human beings. And I've had my fair share of suffering in life. I loved where I took my doctorate, University of New Mexico, probably 45 years ago. They required us to have 100 hours of psychotherapy to sort out our own issues and get on the road to a balanced life. I took advantage. I have 5 different therapists that I worked with, and I loved it. Loved that program and its preparation. I also studied at Stanford and UC Berkeley and the University of Texas for postdoctoral work. I have Kenny G playing in the background softly here. Sometimes if a client enjoys it and prefers it, I have soft music. It might be a different kind of music, whatever they like that brings relaxation. This probably wouldn't work in a session, but it works in a tour of my office. But there are some beautiful harmonic types of soothing music that bring spiritual, muscle, psychological relaxation so that we're free to talk and enjoy ourselves. And I like to have fun in therapy. One of the therapists I trained under was Jacoby Moreno, worldwide known for psychodrama, a brilliant Viennese man. And he believed that psychotherapy should involve laughter, not just pain, not just seriousness, but getting to know each other, sharing your personalities, your humanness. So that's what I offer. I don't come across in a clinical, cold, cool, artificial facade. I don't like that approach to therapy myself, and I wouldn't see a therapist who's like that. So I like to be more personal. So let me come closer to the camera and give a little larger view here where I can stand. I enjoy movement in therapy. I like to not just verbally sit there and talk intellectually about our problems, but if you have problems with a mother, a sister, an uncle, a boss, a teenager, a spouse, or someone who has died and still invade your psyche, I like to personify them. So I might have you role play them. I'll show you how. It's easy. You just kind of become them and how they appear in your psyche. And then I'll engage them kind of as the new and growing you. So you'll tell me what problems you have, and then I'll become Dr. Dan in your place, showing a new horizon. And I'll bring the whole power of compass therapy and the navigational power of the self-compass. These are powerful 21st century coping tools. Anti-stress, anti-anxiety, pro-satisfying relationships. They're powerful tools. So we'll make it come alive, and then I'll show you new ways to talk to or relate to these people, new behaviors, new feelings. We'll make progress. So I'm known as an action therapist. My colleagues at Yale and Princeton and Notre Dame and Stanford School of Medicine have praised my Compass Series books, which you can find by putting in Dr. Dan Montgomery to Amazon.com. You'll see the Compass Series books. You might want to look at the Self-Compass, co-authored with my wife, Kate. Powerful concepts. And we want to make those concepts applied from the first session. So let me show you about something to expect. You'll come in this entryway, and here's what it will look like. Now it's evening. There's the moon. Isn't that great? There's a beautiful green belt. I love this place where I live and have lived for many, many years. If you come early, there's a gorgeous place to sit and recollect yourself and have your drink. I schedule sessions 30 minutes apart so that you're never in danger of meeting anyone. It's autonomous and totally private. So you'd sit here and then knock at the appropriate time. I'll let you in. Hi, Dr. Dan. Hi. Welcome. I like to welcome people. First thing you'll notice is I love orchids and I love books. So here's a representative library of thousands of books. I've given away 1,000 books to libraries that I no longer need or have in my life journey, but here's just a little collection. I took my Bachelor of Science in biology, chemistry, and math, and love that background as a scientist. I also went to medical school for a season before deciding to become a psychologist instead of a psychiatrist. But I took apart a human cadaver, used the electron microscope, studied the brain, so that I could understand the biology of human existence. And then I took a master's after that in philosophy so that I could understand the great thoughts and thought systems. So here's the history of Western philosophy, these volumes by Frederick Copleston, about 10 volumes. I read them 45 years ago and I read them again this year, the whole volume. I love the universe and the people of the world. And here's a book I'm proud of, John Wiley. I co-authored this book over 30 years ago. It became a classic in graduate schools for training master's and doctoral students. And the lead author said that Dan Montgomery's therapeutic style was the style of the future, and that all therapists could benefit from studying my work. Then other parts of the library. I love culture. I go to all kinds of foreign movies regularly. I love animals, plants, and art. So this gives you the first glimpse. Then you come in, here's an orchid, here's an aquarium, symbol of life. And here's where you'll sit. Here's my card. My phone number is 512 in Texas, 512-518-5340. And you can call and have a free consultation, 20 minutes by phone scheduled. Be glad to talk to you. You can see my webpage at drdanmontgomery.com. Show you the other side of this. I love working with individuals, but also couples. It's a specialty working with couples, bringing peace, love, and joy back to a relationship that may be long lost or broken and terribly pain. Oh, the pain that comes with coupling. But I'm an expert in that. My wife, Kate, at one point, because we shared so openly our own souls in our marriage of 30 years, that she said I deserved a PhD in being a woman, the psychology of women, because I knew it so well. So women are comfortable with me. I know their psyche, and I know the male psyche and can unlock it and its secrets to them. And men are comfortable with me. I've worked from high school on, junior high on, in all major sports, wrestling, tennis, football, basketball, and martial arts for 50 years. So here, I am a Kung Fu master. And still work out 2 hours a day just to stay healthy and trim. And because it's a joy, I listen to jazz, put on my Bose headset, and love being in the gym, socializing with people as part of my social network. I have 3 black belts, by the way, in 50 years. One of them was with Chuck Norris, another one working with Ed Parker. Now here's a picture you'll see that I hope you love. The cosmos. What is our place in it? What is our meaning? What is our pain telling us now? Our suffering, the crucible of suffering that we all go through. How can you and I decipher it and so that you're not alone anymore? We're together, and you'll sit here next to another orchid, symbol of life. Orchids grow in tough places, cliffs, among rocks. And if you're a couple, one will sit on this side and one will sit on this side. And I'll sit here, where I've sat many a year. Done about 40,000 hours of counseling at this point. We can have the blinds open or closed. In Texas, we have wonderful brickwork. This building next door is private business building. No one can see in here. We can have the blinds open, or if we prefer, we can close them. And I often close them just for the sense of coziness and privacy. So you'll be sitting here. Go back for this view. And tell you what to expect. First, bring a spiral. You want to take notes. Dedicate a spiral. Take notes in therapy. I'll give you pillows if you need them, and water if you need it. Take notes. These words are confidential. They'll go with me to my grave. You're safe here. It's a safe haven. I'll understand your life story, not in a year, but in 1 or 2 sessions. You'll tell me what's important. And I don't believe in doing a lot of psychological archaeology. Now, some therapists will spend 6 months exploring your childhood. Well, why, 5th grade, 6 years old, toilet training, junior high, elementary school. No. They're using the old psychoanalytic approach, which has been debunked decades ago. The key questions are, what is happening now? And how can we fix it? What do we need to do now? What, how, and now? We can start moving in a first session. So I don't do psychological archaeology. We don't need to know all the whys and wherefores and speculation. You'll tell me over our sessions what's important each session period. And we'll put it in the hopper of our joint thinking, and I'll bring my lifetime of expertise as a PhD in counseling and clinical psychology, and having 2 licenses that are very important. Most therapists have one or the other, a psychologist or a marriage and family therapist. I have both and have had for 40 years. So in Texas, my work is done under the auspices of my Texas marriage and family license, but I still have all the advantages of a California licensed psychologist that I got in California when I worked there for 25 years. Now that license is very hard among the states of America. One of the hardest ones to get. So you have that at your beck and call. For me to understand you, feel empathy for you, bring words to your inner suffering and torment and pain and confusion and frustration. And before long, you'll start feeling the power of this room. Because you'll be not just seeing me, but you'll be seeing pleasant signs of hope and life and comfort and growth. And if I want to use hypnotherapy, I'll use a visual screen. If I want to show demonstrations of healthy conversations or living or self-esteem, I'll use a visual platform. And you'll be sitting right in a Garden of Eden as we work. And each time, I will do what I have always done. I will will courage. I will will courage to you that you succeed in our work and flourish and thrive. So that's all I have to say for now. Give me a call, and it would be an honor and a pleasure if we consider after the 20-minute free consult that we're a good match. Then we'll have a first working session and get off to a good start. You can start reading my books to have rapid learning curve. And what often takes other therapists who haven't been in this field all that long, even though it's 10 or 20 years, it doesn't match my 40 years. They may take a year to get where you and I can get in 3 months, perhaps, if we're a good mix, and if you really take my direction and we have good chemistry. If not, it'll always be okay to terminate with me, and I'll give you 3 referrals that you can look in the area for a better match. So there's no problem there. So I invite you to call. Thanks for letting me express myself. Enjoy life.